Hey y'all, part 3, we are digging into the actual creating of the content. Now, I know for a lot of y'all, you actually have a podcast or a YouTube channel that you are repurposing into a blog. This will work for you. If your only form of long form content right now is a blog, great. This will work for you too. If your entire content strategy rests on social media, I'm gonna pray for you first. But this will still work for you some, but please get a blog for your business, okay? Okay, love you. Get ready to take some notes. We're gonna jump right on into it today. Hey there, fellow entrepreneur. Welcome to Simple SEO and Marketing with me, Faith Hannon. Do you want to grow your business with organic marketing and finally feel like you can understand SEO? Are you scouring the internet for how to get more website traffic, SEO for dummies, and how to market on Pinterest? Have you tried to grow your business with SEO and blogging only to get frustrated and quit because it's overwhelming and too time consuming? Been there. Hey, I'm Faith Hannon, Jesus lover, copywriter, blogger, wife, wrangler of tiny humans, and barrel racer. And let me tell you, I didn't have time to waste sorting through SEO and keyword strategies that either didn't work or were so over my head I couldn't understand them. I honestly thought that SEO and blogging only worked for people with a PhD in tech jargon and a whole team of employees, until I learned these secrets. Good SEO strategies don't have to be complicated, and creating and marketing great content doesn't have to take more than a couple hours a week total. So pop in those earbuds, slam some coffee, and let's grow your business with simple organic marketing and a healthy dose of biblical encouragement along the way. Okay, so I'll be honest, this is really one of my favorite, if not most favorite parts of the content creation flow, because I like writing. I like the written word. I like blogging. I actually started a blog 6 years ago in August when my daughter was teeny tiny. Like, I enjoy the writing part. And so this is really fun for me. But I know that not everybody likes to write and not everybody processes well writing. A lot of people process better verbally. So I know that this part of the process is not necessarily going to be your most favorite, okay? But it's crucial, okay? Because you need a blog for approximately 987 reasons to grow your business. Like, it's so good for your business. I have a blog on 6 reasons why your business needs a blog. Go check it out. But I want you to know that whether you are a podcaster who has a blog, or a YouTuber who has a blog, or you are just blogging for your business right now, this will work for both of you, okay? So step 1, you're going to take your outline, your snazzy outline that we finished in the podcast episode yesterday. You've already created it. You're going to take that, boom, check for step 1. You have that. Step number 2, you're going to just fill it in. So if you're like me, you like to outline with bullet points, right? Like, nobody wants to read a bullet point list, okay, of incomplete sentences. The goal of this blog is to create something that people want to read. People want to stay on and read the blog because that's good for your SEO and it's helpful for people. But you just take the outline and you fill it in, right? Like, you make the things that you typed out complete thoughts and complete sentences. And if you've created your podcast, if you outlined your podcast and you're repurposing that into a blog, bonus tip, do the blog writing right after you've created the podcast, because that content and all those ideas are still fresh in your brain and you'll just be able to whip that out in no time flat. Okay. So you're going to fill it in. You're going to fill in the outline with, a variety of sentences and complete sentences and grammatically correct sentences, please, for the love of all things holy. And it shouldn't take more than 30 minutes. It really shouldn't. Normally this takes me like 10 to 20. Okay. So you're going to take that. And then step 3 is you're going to write a full-on introduction. Now, if you think of the drawing of, I'm just going to give you a visual here in your ears. Your introduction should be like an inverted triangle, that like a funnel drawing people in. Like you start more general and then go more specific. Like your thesis statement is generally at the end of your introduction. If you think back to like, middle school English class, okay? So you want to write a full-on introduction. You want to draw people in, you want to hook people, and then you want to tell them what you're going to tell them. And hey, this is what I'm going to prove in this blog. Here are 10 easy steps to XYZ. Great. That's an awesome intro. Doesn't have to be rocket science, okay? And then, you have your filled in guts. I call it the guts and livers of the blog. You have your filled in outline, right? With all your main points, complete thoughts. And now you just need to write a conclusion. Now think of your conclusion as another triangle, only it's going the opposite direction from your introduction. It's like skinny point on top and like the fat side on the bottom, because what you're doing is you're kind of easing those people out of reading your content. You're telling them what you told them, and then you're reminding them of the action that they need to take and just kind of like easing them back out into the world. That's what your conclusion should do. It does not have to be super, super fancy, okay? We're talking like a quick paragraph for the blogging world. And then step number 5 is you need to get the actual links for anything that you mention so that you can link to things in your blog, okay? BT dubs, I'm doing all of this in a Google Doc because I don't want to have to do all of this in WordPress, okay? Now, before I walk you through the next step, I'm going to walk you through, just give you a few tips on like writing a good blog. 1, it does not need to be super wordy. So don't sit down to write a blog and feel like you have to write, an entire dissertation. You do not. I honestly, most of my blogs are in the 500 to 1,000 word range. Now, I'll be honest, Google likes blogs that are sometimes 2,000 and 3,000 words, which is a lot. Like I like to read, y'all, but like I'm not sitting down to read a 3,000 word blog unless it's like from a doctor and I'm learning something specific about health, right? Like most people do not have the time or the energy or the attention span to read a 3,000 word blog, but search engines like it. However, if you listen to episode number 31, y'all, we are here to serve people first, okay? And if your people are not going to read a 3,000 word blog, don't write that long of a blog, okay? Honest to goodness, 400 words is fine. That's a fine limit. If you're like, I just don't even want to write that long of a blog, then don't write 400 words and get on about your life, okay? The next element that you need to make sure is in this blog that you're writing is it needs to be clear. Clear wins over cute. Every day of the week that ends in Y. Boom. Take that to the bank, y'all. But also, don't be afraid to show some personality, because if somebody's invested in your blog, they're sitting down to read, they get a couple paragraphs in, and it sounds like a boring robot wrote it, they're never going to come back. But if you sound like a person wrote it and a person has some personality, then hey, they're going to connect with you on a level a little deeper than just what you sell, okay? And bottom line, y'all, write something that somebody would enjoy reading. This doesn't have to be rocket science. There aren't near as many rules in the blogging world as there were in your college English class with MLA format or whatever. Is there Chicago style or APA? I don't know. We only ever used MLA, okay? And then the last step, the final step in the actual creating of an SEO friendly blog of this step in my process is to copy that bad boy on over to WordPress or whatever platform you use. Now, at this point, we are done for the day, because when it comes time to optimize your blog, which is the next step, tomorrow's podcast, I want you to be able to look at your blog with fresh eyes, okay? The number one tips of editing or proofreading anything is to let it sit a day at least. Like if you can let it sit a week and come back to it, you'll do an even better job of proofreading it. Now, I'm going to give you this bonus tip too. If you really need help proofreading, but you can't afford to hire a proofreader and you can't steal mine, I mean, I'll give you her information if you want. BT dubs. I don't yet pay her to edit my own stuff. I just pay her to edit client stuff. So if you're reading my blogs and you're like, Faith, you need to proofread, better. Yes, I do. I do. But if you're not at the place that you can pay a proofreader, Grammarly is excellente. So good. Even the free version of Grammarly catches a lot of things. So the paid version of Grammarly, worth it for me. It's like 80-ish, 100-ish bucks a year, somewhere in that range. But you do need to edit your stuff. You do need to check for major typos. You do need to check for, complete sentence structure and all those things. Grammarly will help you do that. But after you copy it over to WordPress, I want you to let that puppy lie for at least a day. If you just cannot and you have to get it published that day, at least walk away for a few hours, because you will catch so many more mistakes when you look at it with fresh eyes than if you just edit it right now. Because when you edit it right now, your brain remembers what it meant to write, not necessarily what you actually typed. So bonus tip, let that puppy lie for a little bit and then come back and edit it. So that is it, y'all. That is the end of this step. We've copied, we have filled in our outline, we've written a great conclusion, a great intro, we've gotten the actual links for anything that we mention, we've written a quality piece of content, and now we have copied that bad boy over into WordPress or whatever platform you use for blogging. All right. Now remember, make sure that you are subscribed and you have automatic downloads turned on so that when tomorrow's bonus episode drops, y'all will know and you won't miss a thing. And feel free to go check out the blog. And as always, leave a review. Pretty please and thank you. All right. We'll talk to you tomorrow, y'all. Bye. Thank you so much for listening in today. Hopefully this episode gave you some really tangible tips for better SEO and marketing to get more leads and more sales from your website. If it did, can I ask you a quick favor? Would you please share this episode with a friend and then just take 10 seconds and go leave a written review on Apple Podcasts? That is the very best way to help more Jesus-loving entrepreneurs scale their businesses so that they can help more people with their gifts and make an even bigger impact for the kingdom of God. And guess what? We now have a Facebook community where we can learn, hang out, and laugh. Go join the Facebook group now. It's linked in the show notes. And all the other things, courses, coaching, and copywriting can be found at my website, faithhannon.com. Until next time, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.